actually paid versus the people that show up.
All right, all right, folks, we're getting it together. We're a little late right now.
That's why I've never done meet and greet. It's like the bar I could manage easily because the bar is only so people that have.
Very good. We're getting it together, folks.
What am I supposed to
You're in here, but that's all right.
I might put you on a meet and greet. That'd be a good step for you.
No. But enjoy.
Because right now you're on
Yeah.
I might have to get my own cake.
on Friday.
Can you see Steve?
Yeah, we got tested. All right. All right, folks, we ran a little late today. But welcome to the Smoking Jacket broadcast. And for those of you that are coming on, appreciate you coming on. Make your comments if you will. And forward. Having an outstanding show.
Much better look.
All right, Desiree. We got Desiree, John, and Jay Ferg over there at Drunk Chicken Cigars. You might as well go ahead and sit in there, Desiree. All right. Look here.
Much better lid.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh well. Good luck with that.
Do some little cigar talk.
Finish her wine and her cigar.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, first of all, let me introduce everybody. Co-host wise, anyway, got Chester with us, Mr. Power to the People. We got Mr. J. Ferg and we got Venita with us. Rob is working today. Can you believe it? Mr. Retired man and went back to work, so he'll be with us on the next
I'm about to say, Rob got a job now?
Yeah, man, he went and got a job, man, and so he doing this thing, man. And then also we got Z, not sure what is going on with Miss Z, but we're going to continue. I'm sure she's probably still grinding, working on getting the line together. And so we just want to keep her in our prayers and that she's doing what she's supposed to be doing. Got a good special show tonight. But before we get to that, Mr. Chester, man, what you lighting up? What you getting ready to light up, man?
I think I'm going to go with this.
Oh, where? Oh. Wait, hold on, man. Let me see that, man. So Chester, this little son of a gun right here. Yeah, he want to whip out this little $100. Is this the purple thing right there? No, that's not. No, you're right. That's not the purple thing.
That's about 7.
Yeah. But he done went over that on us, my man. All right.
That's the New York spoils.
Yeah.
Coming up there to have brunch though. Coming down to Atlanta to have brunch though, goddamn.
I'm waiting on you.
What's been going on in your world lately, man? I know you've been grinding, busy. Birthday,
Same thing. Oh yeah, just celebrate that. Celebrate the 55th.
Yeah. But we had the show. We was letting them know you was getting ready to celebrate it. But my man went down to Cigar session.
Yeah.
Had a grand time down there. Took a crew.
Yeah, we took the Delaware. We had so much fun. They're coming down. The folks from Delaware are coming down to 210 on Sunday. Trying to coordinate. They said they're coming down on the party bus.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have food and drink for them, and we're gonna try to make this a regular thing. Where we just go and visit different lounges and just bombard it. Especially the black owned. We're gonna put some black owned money in some black owned shops. That's right.
Great idea.
You got it.
Tell Z we
Jay Ferg, what's up, man?
I'm good, brother. How you doing, man?
And I ain't all well, but you know what, Jay Ferg, before we get into that, man, let me get it and hit it and let the folks know that this show is definitely sponsored by the Destination Herb 2000.
The saga continues.
All right, Jay Ferg, it's yours, man.
Well, I appreciate I appreciate the support and everything, Chris. And just want to let everybody know that we are less than 60 days away from Destination Herb. Right now, we are running our Black Friday sale for the entire month of November. We have some amazing specials going on for Black Friday. And the big announcement we made this week is that on Friday night of Destination Herb, we're going to be doing the official Caldwell Cigars 10-year anniversary dinner. That's going to be really special. We got some really cool stuff planned for that event. Robert's going to be there. We're going to commemorate the 10-year anniversary. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be real special. We got some special stuff planned for you guys that night. Some special surprises that he don't even know it's going to be. We got some surprises that he doesn't even know it's going to happen that we have planned for that event. But overall, the whole weekend, man, is going to be amazing. Like I always stress, man, this is a mature, grown and sexy event, for the true cigar enthusiasts. If you're looking for a turn up, this is not it. If you're looking to, hear loud music and smoky room, this is not it. This is where you get dressed up. We have open bar every night. We feed you every night. We give you a shit ton of cigars and some cool ass swag. So if you haven't done so yet, hit up destinationherb.com, cop your tickets, take advantage of the specials, and let's get it cracking. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in Miami January 11th to the 14th. You heard me?
Yes.
Sir.
Yes.
What you got going on down there in Miami, man? I know you smoking anything, drunk chicken? Because I know you got Desiree in the background.
You know what? She just called me up. She hit me up yesterday and told me she was going to be in town. So I told her, I said, come by the lounge where we hang out at. I mean, normally I would have been doing the show in the backyard today, but because of the weather, it was a little rainy, so I decided to come to my home lounge, which is Smoking Daddy's right here in Davie, Florida. So I decided to come here and smoke. And I told her, I said, come through, hang out with us, and let's make it happen. So it was good to see her. She's actually just another big surprise. She just signed on as a sponsor for Destination Herb, so she's going to be one of our sponsors as well. So we're going to be featuring Drunk Chicken Cigars at Destination Herb as well. We just locked that deal in like a couple days ago. So so that's what I was going to make tomorrow. But since she's here and I'm here, we're going to let the kid out the bag. Drunk Chicken is going to be at Destination Herb 2024.
All right, that sounds good. That sounds good. Well, we got look like we got some YouTubers on, and I can't see how many, but we got some folks here. We're gonna give them a shout out real quick. Angela, what's going on with you? So we got the Queen of Style, styling and profiling, Miss Venita T. What's happening?
What's going on, everybody? Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes,
How
sir.
y'all doing?
All right. Well, we know you in the house, so we know you're not smoking on anything. So what's going on with you?
I'm not smoking because I'm still getting over an upper respiratory infection. So I called myself going to sneak out to the cigar lounge over the weekend and ended up in the emergency room. So yeah, I am trying to recuperate and continue to take medication for this, so I can probably be able to smoke at Destination Herb by that time.
Yeah, we need you to be able to smoke.
So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it, Jay and Chester. Happy belated double nickels. So you know what happened when you double nickels, right? I know your knees squeaking when you get up in the morning.
I got the oats. I got the oats, them old ass peas.
Good evening. Good evening to our guests.
Thank you. I appreciate you, though, Quick. I appreciate you.
Because I got a couple of years up on you. I'm just trying to let you know what's going on in case nobody told you. It gets
You
worse.
keep leading the way. You keep leading the way. I appreciate you.
How's that
And so
weather in
I want
Atlanta?
to say welcome to our guest panel as well. My name is Venita Tuloyani, and it's a pleasure to see you guys here.
Yeah, say my name. Say it again. Gotta get that last name.
That last name again. Come on, say it one more time. Girl, say your name. Say your name.
Venita Tuloyani.
All right. Well, look here. I am your host today, Dr. Sayso. I am and coming to you live from Cigar Palace. And we are having a grand time. Get ready to have a grand time in here. We just chopping it up, having a little fun right now. But look, we got one of the most. Well, first of all, let me tell you what I'm smoking. You know, for the last couple shows, I've been on this Grand Habano. Man, this, you know, something about this shaggy foot. Love it. And gonna keep on smoking it till I get tired of it. But just right now, kind of suits me for my show tonight, and compliment it with a little bit of Glamorangi La Santa, and pairs well with it. So, but without further ado, look here. This right here is a show that was dear to Chester's heart. And certainly after getting the information, certainly not dead to my heart, because this right here, these brothers that we have on are about the kids, about our youth, about those that are behind us, pulling up the rear. And they're making sure that they have every opportunity in life to do the things that they need to do. And they are incorporating that old cliche of it takes a village. And right now we got some of the village here with us. And just want to give you who they are, foundation that they are. Matter of fact, got the founder of the foundation here, and I'm going to give him an opportunity in a second. But Jacob's Ladder. And I love the climbing the ladder, one generation at a time. So we thank God for that. And certainly for what he's doing. Now, I don't want to jack up this name. So is it Jarriel? Jarriel. Yep. Okay, Jarriel. Spelled differently?
Yes, it is.
All right. Any significance in the spelling?
No significance whatsoever.
But this brother Jarriel. Sure. I ain't gonna do it. Jarriel. Got it. Mr. Jarriel Jordan Sr. Definitely, as I was looking over the information and seeing what was going on with him, the one thing that got me was this one, and that was to reduce the number of juveniles entering and returning to the juvenile justice system. Man, how did this foundation come about in your heart and mind to do the things that you do? And I'm gonna give you an opportunity to tell us who you got with you, but we need to know what was the crux of getting this foundation started with what it means to you, what it should mean to us. And so go ahead, brother.
So again, Jarriel Jordan, founder, executive director, Jacob's Ladder Youth Foundation. As you heard, our mission, it was just given to you to reduce the number of juveniles entering and returning to the juvenile justice system. And to answer your question directly, it was a personal challenge to me. I was retired from Prince George's County Police Department in 2019. I spent the majority of my career as an investigator in robberies and homicides. And I noticed that the majority of the suspects and victims were young Black males. Okay. So being from Prince George's County, the amount of passion I have for Prince George's County, again, it was something that was a personal challenge for me to bridge this gap to try to figure out what's exactly going on, right? So as I was approaching my retirement years in 2019, after 23 years of serving again in Prince George's County Police Department, started Jacob's Ladder Youth Foundation. It's a nonprofit, it's a 501c. So we do take donations. Shout out to the donors. All right. So we started
link will be put out there.
That's right. So we started the nonprofit for that mission, for that purpose. And again, it's to what we do pretty much is it's all about public safety. Okay. It's all about recidivism, that revolving door. So what we really focus in on is our juvenile reentry program. And from that, we have a lot of programs within our juvenile reentry program. Okay. A lot of educational programs, a lot of exposure field trips. And that just, exposes the young folks to careers and different educational paths. And that's what it's about. So that's what we do. That's our mission. That's why I was formed to answer your question. All right. And of course, I can talk about this off the top of my head, but it's the guys I have with me. No doubt. They're boots on the ground, that's really doing the work. All right. And so while I have, I'm going to introduce them, and then we'll continue with the conversation. That's okay with you?
It's your show right here.
It's my show. All right. Well, we're going to continue.
Yes, sir.
So to my right is the one and only. Okay,
Chief of
he's
staff.
the chief of staff. All right, chief of staff.
What?
He's the chief of staff. All right, he's often imitated. All right,
Never duplicated.
but never duplicated. All right, the one and only Stephen Quander. Give it up for Stephen Quander. Give it up for Stephen Quander. Hey, to our left, we have the one and only, the esteemed. All right, we just Veterans Day just passed. Okay, the esteemed, the one and only Captain Matthew Manning. All right, he's a U.S. Army. He's I let him talk about his career. All right, I mean, esteemed, an aviator. All right, really doing some things. He brought an aviation program to Jacob's Lab. Okay, he's picking up a lot of things. And again, you're talking about some exposure and some experience. This is what it's about. My man Stephen Quander to the right, he's exposing us and bringing some new ideas to the program. So what we're doing, I'm just so proud of how our program is growing. Okay, what we're providing. All right, and hey, and you talked about Chester. You talked about Chester when we first got started.
Yeah.
Hey, look, so Chester did a fundraising for us back in the spring. Okay, he told us about this podcast. That's why we're here today. So shout out to Chester. Shout out to Big Chester.
Tony Grillo. Big Grillo.
And Grillo.
Big
Absolutely.
Grillo.
But they're the ones really bringing this thing in, keeping us in mind. And just again, we're thankful for the opportunity. Let me just say that we're very thankful. We have a lot of gratitude. This is what we're about. Okay. So we'll talk about the program. This is it's not about us whatsoever. I think that's why we continue to grow. We're doing God's work. This is our assignment. We're on our post. Okay. And what we're doing right now is because of the assignment that's asked for us right now. Okay, I'm gonna turn it back over to you. I don't want to keep talking because I talk for 2 hours straight. They closed the cigar bar there. We'll be back and talk.
You told us something else about the chief of staff. What else did you do?
Well, I don't know if we can talk about that. I'll let him talk about that.
Yeah,
I don't want to overstep my bounds.
For me, that just brings it all together.
It brings it together.
Brothers doing other things. This is
So what I'm gonna do, I'll let him
if he
talk
wants
more
to.
about that because I don't want to overstep boundaries, as well as with the captain, because I don't want to overstep boundaries and state things wrong. So if whatever they're comfortable about discussing, I'll let them discuss. All right. But again, we're just thankful for the opportunity. And again, the Jacob's Ladder Youth Foundation. All right, there you go. It's on you, sir.
No, I want my brother to take it. Because let me say, because first of all, the position that you hold, but also the other position that it lets people know that we can be empowered to do other things, and so it's a testimony and a testament to reach the heights to where you're going. It ought to give other people the encouragement to get where you are. And so there's nothing wrong with talking about it, man, because hopefully when this podcast is shared, it's shared to other young men and women to know that we can make it, we can make a difference, and have aspirations to get to the positions that you got to. So let's talk about it, man.
All right, I'll stand it. I'll talk a little bit about myself. One of my favorite subjects, myself. So born and raised in PG County, a project of the wonderful PG County public school system. When I say born and raised, I mean born and raised. I did all my education from elementary school all the way to high school, graduated from the esteemed senior high school right in PG County. So I'm one of those people that I get a little offended when people say that our education system isn't great. Because I know hundreds, thousands of brothers and sisters that have come through that educational system and done great things. After I finished my time at Duval, I went to the University of Maryland, so I am a Turk alum, class of 03, R.H. Smith School of Business. Did my time there as well, and I parlayed that into a successful career in retail. So over the past 20-some-odd years, I've worked for, say, about 10 to 12 Fortune 500 companies in the retail space. Some of your old favorites, Sears. I used to run that back in the day. J.C. Penney. I've been at Target. I've been just about anywhere. Currently, I'm at Nike. I'm the retail district director. So I run all the stores in D.C., Maryland, and Delaware. So
how many stores is that?
So 10 in total. So I
Well, it's 5.
So I run 10 in total. And again, as we talk to the youth, it kind of just gives them a different perspective. Again, they hear a lot of negativity about the county that they live in, the circumstances,
No
the
hope.
education might be, worse, this, that, and the third. But I just like to be kind of that beacon of hope, and allow them to see what they can do, coming from the county, man.
And that's cool because they don't have no excuse to give you because you made it.
Yeah.
Okay.
With what you had to work with, the education system you were under, there's no excuse. It's the work you're gonna put in to get where you need to be.
So I think that's the key, man. It's what you put in.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, I've gone to school with many different people from many different places, many different educational systems, and really what it boils down to is how much work did you put in while you did.
Exactly.
A lot of times we get into a space and we believe that all right, just because we showed up at class, everything's gonna be all right. I showed up, so I should automatically be smart. But it's really what do you do after you leave that class?
Right.
Do you take the time to read books? Do you take the time to educate yourself outside of the classroom? Do you take the time to learn things outside of just that base curriculum that they teach you? So really, that's part of what we do at Jacob's Ladder. I teach some of the life skills classes, financial literacy to the youth. I recently underwent some training. We'll get into that a little bit later for different things to help with perspective. Looking at some scientific things about brain.
Right. Well, I'm gonna piggyback on something that we just said a minute ago after I turn it over to Captain Manning. But there's a quote from Captain Manning because we just talked about having to put in that work. But if I may quote you, sir, you said the court is a melting pot, and we all share the same goals to shape policies that better the world. And the more we learn from others, the more we can pour. Man, that's it right there. The more we can pour
pots
into others. So, man, I mean, it sounds like an original. The bio on you, I know you're a Captain United States Army aviator. Thank you for your service. I had to ask, what is the NPM 24?
So that is the Master of Policy Management. It is the course that I'm taking as a General Omar N. Bradley Fellow at Georgetown University. It's a broadening assignment for the Army. It goes to the top 22 captains in the Army, where they provide you with a free master's degree. And then you would do 1 year on the Joint Chief of Staff in the Pentagon, followed by 1 year on the Army staff in the Pentagon before returning back out to the field.
Yeah. Shut the pot. Shut the pot down.
You play a significant role. I appreciate it. In this journey with Jacob's Ladder, man. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. So, first of all, I got to thank Mr. Jordan and for his works. Right, he ultimately set the foundation, and it takes a village. And regardless on individual people creating organizations, I've been doing it since essentially since 2013, but I haven't been able to make the impact that I have without Mr. Jordan. So I got to thank him for that, and thank you all for this type of platform. Traditionally, I'll be honest with you, this isn't my normal platform. I am a cigar smoker and a whiskey connoisseur, but I think this type of avenue here and this platform is critical. That way, you can reach all people across diversity, right? That actually goes into what you're talking about, that melting pot, right? So having this ability, and I thank everybody for joining in today. But a little bit about me, if you don't mind, I'll kind of hop right into this. Captain Manning, I'm from Washington, D.C. Went to DeMatha Catholic High School. I was actually at a guest speaking event with them earlier as they're prepared to win their championship against Good Counsel on Tuesday. Then went to Morgan State University, followed by the University of Hawaii, and now at Georgetown University. I am me, but I'm not me without my wife, Priya Darshini, who's probably watching right now, and my family at home. So I am just a representation of them. I've been in the military for 17 years, started in the Air Force, made it all the way up to E6.
Baby.
And I was relatively very successful, but I had a Caucasian officer that looked me in the face when I asked him, what it took to be a pilot. And he told me I didn't look like a pilot. Yeah, I didn't look like one. So that kind of lit a little bit of fire under me and kind of transitioned me over to the Army, where I commissioned in 2015 as a distinguished military graduate, and now I'm an Apache pilot. So I've been to 3 combat campaigns in Iraq and Afghanistan twice. Have over 1,000 flight hours. Done some things as an Apache pilot. So if you guys haven't seen an Apache, go look at that. Put warheads to foreheads at the end. But you know the ability.
I don't think they really heard that. He said we put warheads to foreheads.
You got that?
Apache is no joke.
It's not, you know, it's our task and purpose to bring up but my greatest job is to be a father and to be a husband. But regardless of where I've been in time and space in the military, specifically as a pilot, I've been the only African American male. And that is something that we have to fix. We have to, as I say in my aviation ambassador duties, we have to bridge that gap.
Exactly.
And the only way that we can do that is to reach down and pull those people that are coming up behind us. So, you know, the ability to go to Friendly High School, to teach, coach, mentor alongside Stephen, alongside Mr. Jordan, that is the ability that we're able to touch now. So the donations that you guys provide to Mr. Jordan, we're able to give high school students the ability to go out there and get their private pilot's license. For context, that's $20,000 per student. That's completely free of them, you know. And so when we talk, you know, means and avenues that kids can go out there and be successful and they can do things, there's a wealth gap that has been created far back to the slavery days that we have to slowly bridge. Imagine what a young high school student can do with having a private pilot's license. And being able to transition to go fly for Spirit, Delta, you name it. That's an ability right now that's paying $200,000 to start. You know, right now it's 97% Caucasians that are manning those jobs. And so the only way that we can continue to try to bridge that gap is through platforms like this, through resources of Jacob's Ladder. And so I'm gonna shut up now so we can get back to the broadcast. But that's me in a nutshell.
I mean, all three certainly have done a great job introducing themselves. And let me turn it over to the co-hosts that they have any questions for Venita.
Well, not really a question, but I read the profile of Jacob's Ladder, and no doubt, Jarriel, your background, you've seen a lot with the Black youth. What strikes me the most, and I'm in awe about, is the junior workforce. Teaching financial responsibility and preparing young men for that, and teaching employment strategies and the importance of entrepreneurship and savings and as well as a trade. What better way to change your outlook on your life than changing your financial status? It starts there, and I think being our brother's keeper, or the saying, "I am my brother's keeper." You guys have started it all over again in a society today where it is really have been lost in our youth. And how important is it for these young men, their family dynamics, where they come from, and the trouble that they're in? How do you guys, when you get them in, where do you start? Confidence boosting, self-esteem, it all has to come into play. Where do you start when you get a young man who hasn't been in the system before, or you don't want them to go back to the system? How do you start?
Well, we meet them where they are. Okay.
Meet them where they are.
Yeah, they're at different stages when they come into Jacob's Ladder. All right, so for the majority of the kids that come to Jacob's Ladder, it's at a time of crisis. All right, most of the time they are either suspended, expelled from school. Okay. We attend expulsion hearings, and advocate, try to keep the kid in school. We don't want them just to wander in the community being suspended or expelled. That's nothing but trouble. Yeah. So we try to find different solutions where they can stay in school, but in school suspensions, first of all. Right? Okay. So and then again, we're gonna talk about the parenting piece, because right now we really emphasize and trying to figure out a way to incentivize parents to be more involved, right? Because the parents, first of all, they got to know how to parent. You only know what you know. All right. Don't get it wrong. You know what you know in life, right? And if you know better, you'll do better. So we partner with a lot of community organizations, a lot of agencies in Prince George's County. We have some strong relationships in Prince George's County and state of Maryland agencies. All right. So we partner with them to try to provide the families with wraparound services, resources, so they can be successful. All right. And later on, we're going to talk about what we try to make sure they know how to do is win.
Right.
We got to win.
Right.
Okay. So all of this leads to success. Okay. What we want the kids that come into our program and the families, first of all, is learn how to be sustainable. Okay. Get to a point where they can sustain themselves. All right. And when they can sustain themselves and they can start providing. Okay. So, I mean, as Black men, I always tell them they come in there, look, and they come to us, I mean, 12, 13, all the way to 18. Well, I'm telling them right now, look, them days of Black men not being able to provide, it's done. Forget it. No matter what you've seen, what you've been experienced, what you've been exposed, it's done. We are providers. We're going to learn how to provide. So you got to sustain yourself. You got to understand employment, careers, entrepreneurship. All right, let's pick up a trade, no matter where you are, even if you're college bound. Let's learn how to trade so you be sustainable. But that can lead to entrepreneurship, careers, and tremendous money. All right. So the Junior Workforce Academy was built just for that. Okay. Make sure you know how to, of course, approach the interview. All right. How to, you know, there's decorum. All right. There's proper work etiquette. All right. We talk about all that good stuff. We built relationships in our immediate area that they hire some of our kids once they complete our program. So it's even more than, it's more expansive than just the two great men I have with me on my side. It's a community thing. It's all hands on deck. All right. And just to piggyback, just real quick, did I answer your questions, man?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And to piggyback on what Captain Mann is saying, so now we're at Friendly High School with an aviation program. And one thing, Captain Mann mentioned that, and also the wealth gap, right? A lot of folks think what we do, I mean, we pour a lot of money to these programs, a ton of money, all right? They think a lot of it, I mean, the resources that we pour into our population, to the kids that we serve, and the kids we serve come through the Department of Juvenile Services, the majority of them. We do have community kids. Folks, kids not in trouble whatsoever. I mean, college ready, but they still want to come through and get some of this love, right? So, but they believe, I mean, society would tell you the amount of money, resources, the STEM programs that we have, all right, what we pour into it shouldn't go to the Black community. It shouldn't go to the population that we serve. It should go to the population that's pretty much ready-made, so they can be better. That's how you help that wealth gap. All right, we give it to the folks that need it the most with grassroots foundation. We roll up our sleeves. We out the streets doing this thing. All right. So what we do, not only, I mean, this helps our society, not just the young folks that's come through our programs. It strengthens families. It strengthens our community. It helps our society. All right. I'm done. I'm ready to go.
Dropping the mic. Jay Ferg, what you got, man?
First of all, welcome, guys. Really, really proud of what you guys are doing, the work you're doing with these young men. As a father of 4 Black boys, I'm really happy to see somebody stepping up and doing the work that you guys are doing. But my question is, what were some of the challenges you guys had in the beginning, and how have you overcome those challenges to where you are, to get you to where you are right now?
So can I say this one? And so this is going to be a little bit of probably an unfavorable opinion here, and based off of the populace that I see. So I started this back in 2013, kind of doing this on my own, as an African American, aviator, trying to make a difference. But let me tell you something that's very important right here. And as much as I love my culture, as much as I love the diversity, it took some cross-cultural help to be able to make this happen. It took a white person to make this happen. It took a white officer to make this happen. It took a female white officer to pull me up, and that was okay. At the end of the day, let me tell you something that's important. There will be people that dislike you that look like you, and there will be people that support you that don't look like you. And here I am right now targeting people within my community, targeting people that need help. And when I went to a 2-star non-minority, as I'll call them, he said, I believe in you. And yes, we need your help. And so we in the Army and even in the military right now, the people that can really make change are way up here. Way up here. We're not there yet. We're not in the positions that we can really call our own shots. And pull people up. Right now, we need that cross-cultural help and that leadership. And it's okay to take the help is what I'm trying to emphasize here. It's okay to say, thank you. I needed your help to get to where I wanted to be. And that's where I am, where I wanted to be today. But I never forgot where I came from. And that right there is what's important, is that when it came down to understanding there needed to be a diversity shift in aviation, there needs to be a diversity shift in a lot of things that we do. It took people that was up here that was able to pull me up and say, Matt, I was able to appreciate kind of what you were saying. Here's what I would say to people that are trying to get to where we are. There was 3 reasons why that white man kind of listened to me. He said, Matt, you could communicate. You had interpersonal tact. That you showed the ability to be able to understand a problem set and be able to communicate it. Didn't let my anger or my disappointment drive my decision making. And oftentimes it happens in our community to where we're so upset or we're so angry that we're not where we want to be, that we lash out at people that are ultimately trying to help you. So I was able to communicate and understand. I was able to not let my anger take the best of me. And then 3, I was able to bridge the 2 together. I was able to have that nexus and link those 2 together and say, this is what I have to do to be able to create change. We can't do it in a silo of excellence. There's a book called Make Your Bed that our students are reading in Friendly High School right now. And Admiral McRaven, he talks about it. He says, when he's in Navy SEAL training, they all carry this boat. It's about 6 of them. And eventually you're going to become sick in this training. Some of them may want to tap out. But when you're weak, it's the 5 other people that will pick up and carry your weight. Mm-hmm. So he says, if you ever want to get somewhere in life, find somebody that's going to help you get there. So regardless on race or ethnicity or gender, find somebody that shares the common goals that you have to help you get to that point. We're just so happy and fortunate that they just happen to look like me in order to drive that change. That was my biggest problem, and that was my biggest challenge, was understanding that not every non-minority wanted to see you fail. Not every non-minority wants to see you successful. Mm-hmm. It's true. Not every person that looks like me wants to see me successful. We can see it in black and black crime right now. We can see that things that they're destroying the community. So I'll say is find somebody that supports you. Find somebody that supports your end state and your goal, and don't let anything stop you to accomplishing that. That was the biggest challenge.
Yeah. Get the cheapest stat.
Absolutely.
Get the cheapest stat.
Come on, Chief.
Here's the bottom line for this today. We're gonna run over because let me just say this, right? It's amazing to me. Now let me say this. My views and what I say is not the reflection of anybody on this podcast.
He just saved me. My views do not represent all of the army. It represent me.
No, because I'm gonna say this. Because when I look at we can have certain shows, talk about cigars this, talk about cigars that, and 35, 40 people. But the minute we get to something meaningful, people drop like fly, oh, this gonna be boring. There ain't nothing boring about trying to help your community. And I'm not, we don't do this for the views. We do this for the education right now, for community. We love to talk about our cigars, but then at some point, we got to get to something meaningful that helps empower us, lift us up, and that's why the direction of the show, it's not a shift, but it's what's needed right now, because there's nobody else talking about what's going on with us, and the only way that we could fix us, it takes us to fix us sometimes. That's right. And so
come on,
Chief. I was gonna say, so you actually brought up a good point. I like to be in the space to be that juxtaposition. So I like to tell people that I'm a black father that was raised by a father that was raised by his father. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think about that. A lot of the times the stereotypes they put on us is those male presences aren't there. So my father, my grandfather, my great-great-grandfather, all of them. I seen them come up. So I like to be in the space to kind of show kids that, hey, what you see isn't necessarily normal, and don't let anybody tell you that is normal. You know what I mean? A lot of times we run with stereotypes like, oh, black father isn't involved, this, that, and the third. But yeah, sitting here with we are involved.
Yeah.
So that gives them that perspective that, all right, what I'm being told isn't necessarily what needs to be fed into me. You know what I mean? I don't have to become what I'm told I'm supposed to be. So really, that's what I love to do in the space. Because again, I've been blessed, man. I ain't got no tough stories. I seen some things happen.
Right.
But they ain't happened to me because I had that support system. I had that family. I had those people around me pouring into me. I had those people to bring me up. So sometimes when you see somebody who doesn't have those things, that's when you say, all right, it's my responsibility to step in.
That's right.
It's my responsibility to be that person for this young man or young woman who does not have that in their life.
That's right.
You got to share those things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we all got children at home, but also the kids in the program, they kind of become our children as well.
Yeah.
Because you look at them and you say, all right, what's going on in this young man or this young woman's world? A lot of what we deal with comes from lack, right? If I don't have what I need, I'm going to take.
Yeah.
If I don't have what I need, I'm going to take. So if we kind of hit it at the root, job training. All right, let me teach you how to manage money. You might look at it from a standpoint of like, all right, I only got $100. But if we teach you how to invest that $100, that money could be $2.
Right.
2 could be 3. And because a lot of young men and young women that come through, they have beautiful minds, they just don't have the right direction. Once you teach them something, they take off with it. You teach them the basics of the stock market, things that their parents don't want. Like you said, you only do what you want. So if you give them that avenue and you give them that outlook, you can show what's going on. Like just how he has been in the military world, it's the same way in the business world. You know, in certain spaces, in certain companies where I've been, with the position that I have, there might be 100 people that have that position. There'll be 5 that look like me, and I know all 5 of them.
Okay.
We're on the group chat together. Hey, how you doing today?
More support.
So again, you do come across those people who are allies.
Yeah.
And it's being able to understand and recognize who those folks are, and being able to, like you said, communicate. That's where we kind of lose it. One of the things that I had the honor of doing on Monday, I was able to attend the training. It's called Rewire CBT. And this training is for us.
What's the CBT?
Break it all down for you. So the CBT element deals with neuroplasticity, right? And a lot of times what we think is, all right, that's saying you can't teach an old dog new trick. But that's not necessarily the case. The brain is always growing, rewiring itself, this, that, and the third. It's all about decisions. So what they taught us in the class, and they continue to teach us as we go through, is making new decision trees that lead down a different neural pathway. So like if you always, every time you go into a building, you go to the right. You go to the right because one time when you went to the left, you fell down the stairs. Right? So you're just never gonna go left again. What we're teaching the kids is when they get into a space where they have certain traumas and certain triggers, how do I deal with that? Because again, that's sometimes we don't deal with. We say, all right, I told you not to do that, without thinking to themselves like, all right, what caused that particular thing? What caused that action?
Yeah.
How did they come out the house today? Did somebody tell them they wasn't going to be anything before they left the house? Did they come out the house hungry? What are the things that are causing them to make the decisions to go down the wrong path? And then when you get there, you also got to understand while you're training them through that, 51% is considered success, right? Because also what we don't think about is with kids, they learn through their mistakes.
Like we did.
Right. But a lot of times they make a mistake and we throw them away. So if you make a mistake and you throw them away, they don't have a chance to learn from that mistake because you don't get any opportunities after that.
That's right.
So it's really just looking at that. We have to be the people to give them that opportunity. We gotta give them some grace in those spaces. Because a lot of times, we did stuff when we were young. However,
and still doing stuff. Still doing stuff.
However, we had the opportunity to make a change, or once a lot of our stuff wasn't on the internet, we didn't record it, so we were able to move on from that. So That's just, one of the things.
You all did something big in August.
What was that?
You opened up a technology center.
Yeah.
They opened up you had a grand opening. I had to bring up the flyer.
Yes, sir.
I got the grand opening for
This
your
your
technology
time.
center. So tell me, what's the purpose of that technology center, and what does it do for the kids?
So the purpose of the technology center is to again expose our population of kids, right, to what's really going on right now. STEM, okay, all the technology, all the integration, cybersecurity, coding, all that good stuff. So again, so we're really pouring a lot of resources again to the kids that we service, to our community, right? Again, Chester, I can't thank you enough, all right? So with our technology center, we have a computer lab, okay, and we have a music studio, okay. So everything we're doing again is like STEM related, STEM based. All right, Steven came up with this concept when we was just talking, STEM based. We had a STEM program over the summer where the kids put radioactive cars together. All right, so we advanced to that to STEM through aviation with Captain Manning. Okay, so then we have a technology center. Now we have a music studio. All right, so the kids is STEM through music technology, and it's just not the artist side. It's the actual sound engineering side. Yeah. It's the studio side. It's the money side of business. Okay, long-term side of business. So that was the purpose of the technology center and bringing something down to our community, after-school programming, summer programs, to incorporate everything that we're doing right there at our location. All right. So again, man, we've just been blessed enough to do this. We've been blessed enough. The community has supported us. All right. I mean, Prince George's County has supported us. All right. So we're just doing what we're supposed to do with the resources that's coming up. All right. So I mean, I can't think that enough. It's nothing that I've done. It's nothing that these two great gentlemen. It's what collectively, what's being done right now. All right. And I mean, I don't want to feel like we're going into overtime. We're going into overtime. I want to make sure I don't want to disrespect anybody going into overtime. About your house.
I usually do a show for an hour, and the purpose of that is you're not going to catch everybody and keep their attention for that hour. So, we try to keep it within an hour, but this is not one of them shows that you can just contain information. And when you're putting good information out there, to keep it at an hour. I mean, we got people that's going to pop on, pop off, pop on, pop off, whatever it is. But, sometimes people will go back and look at the show in its entirety when they have time. So I got to give this show some time. And because it's important. Matter of fact, Ray Farmer said, tell Jarriel that it was an honor to coach his son. So proud of the things that he's doing.
Yeah. And shout out to Ray Farmer.
Yeah. Boom. And boom. Right. So and then and I don't want the co-host sitting there look like they not having any input, but y'all got all the answers to this right now.
Well, we're working on it.
And now I will add, and I got it. Ray had something up there. Let me go back to it. Yeah, here it is, right here. We got to charge ourselves to the game. Now, if I get what you're saying, Ray, some of us been in the game. I've been in the game, back in the day. I'm looking at a brother that spent 2 years in Petersburg that was in attention, back in the 80s, and, when I got out, I had to have a whole change of mindset. And this go back to what this brother said. Nobody that came in the jail that was black trying to help me out. I got some help from the white folk. And I mean, when I got out, my husband gave me a place to stay. Didn't know me. They did slid a newspaper under the door, the employment section. Read this. I want to see you. Hey, you left me in the house by myself. But I was in that. I was in that paper. They took me down to the Salvation Army, got me some clothes, but I got back on my feet. Got what I needed. Got a good start, got a great start. But it wasn't help from, anybody that looked like me, this is what we do. We get in the game. We get out the game, we get uplifted, we get empowered, but we never go back to the game to help people change the world. You know what I mean? And because we forget sometimes where we come from, we forget some of the things we did, And then now that when we look at the way other people doing stuff, we look down on them. And that's just not the way to be.
So,
yes, sir.
I have a point off of that, Ms. Venita. This kind of goes to your initial question to Mr. Jarriel Jordan. When where we meet these students at. And I'll tell you, there's something that all the skills in the world can't give you, and all the assistance in the world can't really give you. And it comes with humility. And that's where I meet most of my students is if I realize you come and you're not humble, I will humble you. Because at the end of the day, there's always somebody out there that's better looking than you, better equipped financially, stronger than you, smarter than you. And then if you come humble, I'm gonna continue to build you up. So what I have seen in the community is that some of these students and these kids, they show up with a chip on their shoulder. They show up with, I'm from Southeast DC, I'm tough. All right, I'll show you tough. You only know what you know. Now I'll show you the world ain't showed you everything that you think you need to know. Warheads. Exactly. So it's humility. And if there's anybody out there, that's something that we really lack in our community is the ability to humble ourselves and say, I need help. I am struggling with this. We have come through such difficult times in our life that we feel like we're weak if we ask for help. And I used to be a person. As a father that went through flight school, then a divorce, and then went through flight school with single custody of a 3-year-old son, I had to ask for help. And a lot of times it came from people that didn't like me. And that was okay. It was okay to say, I'm not strong enough and I need this assistance. That's what we need more from our youth is to say, Mr. Jordan, can Jacob's Ladder help me? And the kids that come into that program, they'll trash talk all day. I had like 5 students tell me they're gonna outfly me, and I'm like, okay, kid, I'm gonna put you to bed when it's time. Don't get it twisted. But at the end of the day, they came and they showed up each and every day with humility and say, I messed up, I did wrong. And so with humility comes accountability. And that's gonna be my last part that I'm gonna make in life is everybody makes mistakes. But it's the people that can't take accountability for their own mistakes that think that they are holier than thou. Right. You can take accountability. You can truly reform from anything. And accountability is what makes us different. And it's what takes the ownership. In the military, I'll tell it and I'll say it out loud. I have kicked people out of the military who lacked accountability, who made mistakes, but then came to me and talked about, it was this person's problem, or it was this person, the reason why I did this. Those are the people I can't go to war with. But the soldiers me and say, hey, sir, I made a mistake. I did it. This is why I did it. But can you help me? Those are the soldiers that I continue to fight and win with because they had what it takes. They had humility and they had accountability. Accountability, adaptability, and predictability are the 3 abilities that we need in life to continue to be successful.
Wow.
Let me chime in. First of all, I want to say to Ray Farmer. Is Ray still on?
Yeah.
Hey, Ray, I'm here to tell you right now, Ray wrote the playbook. I'm here to tell you right now, Ray is one of the we talked about this earlier, just before we got started, man. Ray is one of the founding fathers, straight up on how to do it, how to coach, how to relate. Okay. And just, I just learned a lot just watching him doing his coaching thing in this DC area. Straight up. All right. And I really do mean that. Okay? A whole lot. All right. Definitely. I give a lot of support, good words, nothing but respect for Ray Farmer for what he's done, what he continues to do. All right. Shout out to Ray. And no doubt. And to piggyback off Captain Manning. So another component that we're talking about working on, excuse me for standing. I can't just sit there and start talking about this stuff, all right? But another element we're adding right now, I was talking to the chief of staff about, was the mental health component. So we're meeting with the mental health expert that we're gonna start bringing on to Jacob's Ladder, because it's like Captain Man said, it's not. You consider this soft. You say I need help, all right, and that's just what it is in the Black community, right? Oh, do your thing. So, but we all need help. I don't care how young you are, a grown man. We try to be better people every day, all right? We need help. Don't get it wrong. It gets to the point that when you think you just, you pull your own self up by your own bootstraps. You don't have no mistakes. You ain't got no flaws. You've always done You've always done it, and we'll always do the right things. As much as we're wide, we try to do. We always fall short. That's all it is. So I don't care who you think you are. All right, let's get that straight. Let's not confuse this. All right. So for the young folks that come through, I'm serious. I mean, this is what really. This is what bothers me. When folks think that they don't make mistakes, they're damn near perfect, right? I mean, straight up. All right. So that's what bothers me, okay? Because we're going to continue. We're going to make mistakes. We're filthy people. That's just it. We're filthy. All right. We're all filthy. So we're going to make mistakes. We got to learn how to forgive. Forgive ourselves, first of all. All right. But we got to learn how to forgive. Forgive yourself. Okay. And then we can move further. All right. So we're going to add this mental health component. Hey, man, our folks hurting.
Yeah.
Straight up. They're hurting. When you hurt, you make bad choices. You make bad decisions. Hurt people. Just like you just said. We make bad choices, decisions when we hurt. That's why we add this mental health component. That's why the chief of staff, okay, he chose to go to this training, all right, because it is an emotional decision, all right. This social media stuff, we can talk all night long. And I don't want to turn the show off. We be here at 11 o'clock. I don't want to do this, all right. But we think we got to respond and reply to everything on social media. We got a crisis right now in this DC area because of crime, all right. Social media is driving it. We think we got to respond to everything. No, you don't. You got to respond to none of this stuff. But we got to get ourselves together. We got to get ourselves together. That's just it. All right? So once we get ourselves together, that's how you affect change. I'm going to sit back there.
No, you brothers are doing it.
I'm going to sit back there.
I have a question. We talk about mental health. Is there a drug program in place as well for the youth?
Yeah, so we have all kinds of resources again within the county government, Prince George County community, not other nonprofits. Okay, we pull from all different kinds of resources. All right, we can call drug counselors in. We need that. Okay, we can call all different kind of experts in to talk about whatever is truly affecting our community. Okay, but we're actually going to really pretty much hire a contract. This mental health expert is going to come under. As a matter of fact, they're going to be in the office on Friday. They'll be in the office Friday. We'll sit down with the chief of staff to make sure we're making the right decision about bringing this person on because we need this.
So as I've come into the fold, really what I've tried to add is that partnership piece and thinking outside the box.
Right.
So as we talked about it, when we started talking about how do we holistically help the family, because again we get to see the kids on a couple of days out of the week, we pour into them, but they do go back into the same situation. So I can give you everything I can give you while you're with me, but sometimes we need to go a little bit further. Sometimes we need to have that meeting with the parent. And like you say, a lot of people are scared to ask for help, this, that, and the third. But sometimes we have to step just a little bit further and say, all right, we've noticed that your son or daughter may have these particular triggers that come from these particular things. Will we be able to interest you with meeting with this specialist as well? And then it turns from just, all right, it's the one you to a family affair. Right. And then that's when we can really make the biggest difference. So as we've gone into the different space, dealing with mental health, dealing with the different drug programs, usually about once a week, maybe twice a week or so, we sit down, we have meetings with some of our counterparts in the county, just to see what services they have that we can kind of connect each other with. So, we're real strong on the re-entry part. We're real strong on teaching life skills. We're real strong on teaching trades. But there are programs out there that we work with that real strong in the mental health space. They're real strong in these other spaces. So again, it's not all trying to do it ourselves. It's more so, all right, how do we make this village work?
That's right.
How do we use our resources?
We stay in our lanes.
Jay Ferg, you got anything, man? Else? Question?
Ferg, back on. So listen. So what do you guys? What's your next step? What's your next future? What's your next big thing you guys have planned for these kids? And what's your future endeavors you guys want to add to your program?
Yes. Well, we're working on actually starting our own school. Okay. So as we expose the kids to trades, to STEM, right? Aviation, music technology. We want to be able to certify the kids. All right. Right now, we're exposing them. We want to take it a step further and certify them. So to certify them, we have to be a certified school within the state of Maryland. So right now, we're on Thursday. We're sitting down talking Thursday to our consultant that's already behind the scenes working all the information that we need to submit to the state of Maryland to be considered a school. Okay, so to be considered a school, for clarity, will be considered a home school in the state of Maryland, right? Where you can get your high school diploma, but most importantly, you'll be certified. We're not necessarily trying to right now issue out high school diplomas, but we want to have the ability to give the certifications so they can start jobs, like a pre-apprenticeship program. That's what we want to do.
So after they run through that whole semester, summer program, however many weeks, sometimes it's 8 weeks, sometimes it's 12 weeks. Once they go through that 12 weeks, when they get out, they have a piece of paper that says, all right, I can go down to XYZ company, I have this training.
Right.
That changes the game right there.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought of like this with straight up knuckleheads? Starting a boot camp?
I never thought about a boot camp. That's not my lane. You know,
That's my lane. From Marine Corps perspective, Army perspective.
What you think, Kat?
So I remember growing up, my dad wanted to put me in junior Marines, which was, I think it was out of Andrews, wasn't it?
It was out of Andrews, but they 8th and 9. They took them over to 8th and 9.
Yeah, I think the boot camp would definitely be a interesting dynamic, something that definitely is achievable. You know, I think boot camp has a bad connotation a little bit sometimes, where it looks like it's all screaming and you don't think negative, but it teaches something that I actually just talked at the math about, is the pain of regret is far greater than the pain of discipline. And that's what we need to improve on with our younger youth, is discipline. And I'll go back to the book again, Make Your Bed. It's the small things. If you can do the small things right, you know, you'll eventually be able to do the big things. If you can't do the small things, you'll never be able to do the big things. And the simple, small task of just making your bed each and every day, it's a discipline that we're taught in boot camp. You know, dress right, dress, getting it right each and every day. I do think that is something that is achievable, something that is doable. But to go back to the original question of what's coming next, is we're going to get these 3 students their private pilot's license. You know, over $60,000 is going to be put in their pocket, and they're going to be able to go touch the skies. And you guys can't see it, but I have a Tuskegee Airman gear that I wore for the last 3 days, because it is truly that meaningful for me. We driver's license, that's normal. You know, I want our kids to go a step and beyond, and so, you know, aim for the skies. If you aim for the stars, if your mission is still in the sky. And those Tuskegee Airmen and what they endured back in 1941. Looking at all the barriers and the doors that they broke down, we need to be able to continue to push that forward. We need to continue to be able to put kids in aircraft and letting them fly, and giving them skills that are second to none, giving them skills that not everybody has the access to. And through Jacob's Ladder, through your donations, we're able to make that happen. So I ask that you guys continue to keep that up. But that's the next step, is trying to get every student their private pilot's license.
Yeah.
I have a question. You talk about donations. Jacob's Ladder, in order for it to get this far, donations have to be coming in. But on a sector of funding for the state level and the government level, how difficult has it been for you guys on this level? Because it's different to say you got donations coming in, whether it's from community or businesses, but to have funding from the state or funding from the government, that's on a whole nother level. How difficult has it been?
In the first couple of years, like everything else, you have to gain the confidence of the heavy funders. Right now, Jacob Ladder has gained the confidence of the heavy funders. To answer that, so right now things are going very well, and it's because of the work we're doing. We really are doing some work. We're just not talking about it. We all here doing it. And I mean, really, really, really doing it. It's very exhausting effort. But again, this is our assignment right now. It doesn't even feel exhausting. Right. All right. It's like everything else. When you have so much passion for something, right? When you got the passion for it, it doesn't feel like work all day long. You can just do it. You're on autopilot. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're on autopilot. So hope that answers your question. I was going to touch on something else Captain Man said. But anything else that we want to, any other questions right now We can just like do that, then jump right back into a couple other things. Because we got a crisis right now going on with these guns, carjackings, youth crime. I would like to touch on that a little bit. I don't want to be till 2 in the morning. Again, they're going to turn the lights out on us a little bit. Yeah. Okay. But any other questions we might want to jump to, or how do you want to do it? I don't want to, keep interjecting myself. I'm a guest. I'm a guest.
One question, man, and this is saying to the parent, because while we want to hold these kids accountable, and I can only go back to the time when this 14-year-old group of gentlemen were out at 4 in the morning breaking in cars, and then one of them ended up getting shot. Because he was in the neighbor's yard. The neighbor heard something, I don't know if you remember that. He came out and, okay, he shot the young man. Was it right? No, I don't think it was right because he wasn't in the house, but still, 4 o'clock in the morning. Now, if you're a parent, let me put it this way. In my house,
wasn't happening.
I mean, come on. Ain't no way in HE hockey stick, you're gonna not know your child is out in them streets at 4 o'clock.
So it's a couple of ways you gotta look at that particular situation. And as I've been able to sit in on different trainings and just in the county and listening to the dialogue, right? So you can go one or two ways with that, right? If you want to go with a punitive push, it might not necessarily work because, again, all right, we're going to lock up the 14-year-old and we're going to lock up the 30-year-old parent. And there may be other children as well. You can't necessarily go from the standpoint of putting everybody away.
Taking something that
leaves nothing.
Okay.
So that's been part of what we've been trying to push into from a policy standpoint, not necessarily something punitive, but something that's training. Parenting is a learned skill, right?
Yeah.
Like, and if you didn't necessarily have the best parenting growing up, you only do what you see.
Right.
So you're gonna, this was the example I had, but then I'm gonna go into here. So maybe what it looks like as we go into the future is, all right, do we have parenting classes? Do we teach them the same thing that we're teaching the kids? How do I change my decision making? All right, Susie Q spilled something on the sofa. Did I go upside her head? You know what I mean? did I go upside her head, or did we try to get to the bottom of, all right, why was this spilled on the sofa? Right. This, that, and the third. And again, something that you learn in business as well as in military, just through leadership. Sometimes you gotta look back at yourself. Was I the person that gave Susie Q the milk and let her jump on the sofa? What was your personal responsibility? So I think it's, as we go further in that space of trying to get training for those parents. Because again, we see people, like you spoke of earlier, you see somebody just be like, man, that whole family a hot mess.
Yeah.
Okay. Then what? Do we just continue to point to them and say they're a hot mess, or do we reach further?
That's a cycle that continues.
Ray Farmer asked, let me get this Ray Farmer. He said, I would love to invite you guys to my event, Men Make a Difference Day at Oxon Hill High School. So
let's do it, right?
Yeah. They said, let's do it, man. Let's do it, bro.
Shoot it to me, right?
So we're going to make that happen. And
Angela Brooke is awesome, by the way. So.
Yeah, and so Antoine, to answer your question, they say Angela Brooke is awesome. So she must be involved in the programs in some kind of way. Outstanding.
Absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely.
I heard something today from Congressman Burrows where he said something powerful. I was actually going to post it, but he said parents can't pass down what they don't know. And so we can continue to repeat a cycle. But here's where I'm gonna go back to the quote earlier. Eventually, you got to charge yourself to the game. The power of knowledge, the power of accountability is at your fingertips. You have to take accountability for your own actions. Eventually, it's no longer your parents' fault. It's not your grandparents' fault for the reason why you don't have what you don't have. It's your fault. So we have to provide the mentorship at a certain level. But at the end of the day, it requires initiative, and it requires those young individuals to go out there and actually do the work. We have to forgive ourselves for things that we can't ultimately always provide for our kids. We can give love, we can give nurturing, but it's a hard world at the end of the day. And sometimes you do got to give them a little bit of that tough love. Sometimes I wish my brothers were slapped up the side of the head a little bit harder, and maybe they just wouldn't be in the certain situations that they were being. So we can't necessarily fault the parents for always just trying to give them the love that we thought that the world needed, because it's a hard world. And so we got to look within ourselves. You got to have some accountability. You got to have some intestinal fortitude and some ingenuity, and you got to get after it. And you got to take accountability for that and understand that there's resources out here that Mr. Jordan is providing at your fingertips. So instead of spending time on X or on Facebook, how about you go out there and Google ways to be successful and invest more time into that instead of investing the time to the things that destroy your mind.
Is there any plans to possibly expand once you get things solidly organized here to expand in different parts of the region?
Oh yeah,
different states, like let's say Chicago, who is, I'm sure maybe they got some good programs going on, who knows, but this sounds like it's really solid, and but to expand the network.
So that's
in the model.
So so when we're looking at long-term clients, that's probably like year 10, year 15.
Okay.
In the immediate future, is getting the accreditation, getting to school. It's taking it to the next level in PG County, and then moving to the surrounding counties. So, as we look at the vision and we look further down the road, you'll have Jacob's Ladder of PG County. Yeah. You have Jacob's Ladder of Montgomery County.
Well, it sounds like we might got Jacob's Ladder of Baltimore, because Antoine Chambers, retired Baltimore police officer, said, if I can help, if I can just help somebody. Hey, Antoine, my man. He just said that. Yeah. Okay. Great.
Tired going for it.
Man, this is so important to help, enhance our community, to involve those in our community. And I can only preach this for so long. We love to do what we do. We love to come. We talk cigars. We smoke cigars. And man, we're going to have a great show as long as it involves cigars, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We can't pick and choose what is the best interest for us to get on and get off. It's my hope that each and every one of you that are on right now, if you would share the broadcast, tell somebody about the broadcast. Those of you that have toiled with us along the way. I mean, we're sitting here in this hot ass room right now, but we're enduring this time. And I'm glad I got my 24-hour deodorant because we kind of close. But it's when things are meaningful, you don't worry about stuff like that. You just get through it, do it, get the information out there, because it's really important. Yeah. And at what point do we begin to involve ourselves into something that's meaningful, other than 9,000,001 cigar weeks that we can spend our money on and go to, and we, and that's part of life that we enjoy. But when it comes to stuff like this, we got to level the playing field all the way around.
That's there in Prince George's County, but we got J. Ferg in Miami.
Yeah,
we got Venita in Atlanta, and I'm sure some other folks watching. But nobody can say this is not needed in that same area, right?
Yeah.
So flies down.
Yeah. We need it everywhere.
Yeah, flies down, get us a hotel. We'll come down to Atlanta. We'll come to Miami. Let's get this show on the road.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And
need it.
It's much needed.
This is great motivation,
and so I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
So, what type of support would you guys need from like us that's outside of what you're doing? What outside of donations? What other type of ways can we support the organization and what you guys are doing and your goals and mission and objectives?
Right. So, I have the staff pulling up all of our social media handles and all that. So I'm going to share with the social media handles. Okay. I mean, definitely follow, share, like, all that good stuff. But
okay. Hey, business cards. Check them out.
Oh, there you go. Hey, social media ones on it?
Social media is on it.
Yeah. Okay. You shout it out?
I'll post it.
Okay, I mean,
I already
hey,
put the link out there to the website.
okay.
But,
Hey,
yeah.
your prayers definitely, but anything else that y'all can provide, always tell the business community, it's definitely more than about donations. If y'all can, anybody, internships, apprenticeships, for the young kids that go through our junior workforce academy, okay, because they are prepared to work, all right, entry level, all right. So if y'all can provide any kind of jobs, that'd be great, okay.
Kenny Hooks.
Kenny Hooks in the house. He just jumped on. He's with us. All right. So Kenny's with us. He couldn't make it. That's the one you sent the link to earlier.
Right. What's going on?
I'm gonna turn it over to Kenny in a minute.
Kenny, can you get on camera? What you doing, man?
Yeah, I can get on camera.
There it is. What's up, Kenny?
How you doing, sir?
We're here. All right. Well, we got Kenny. He
Hey,
just joined us, and he was supposed to be with us here, and he's not. But we're gonna spend a little bit more time, and we'll let Kenny
introduce himself.
go ahead and introduce yourself, my brother.
How you doing? How you doing, everyone? Kenny Hooks. I've been working with the at-risk population for almost 30 years, from DC, Montgomery County, Frederick County, and now Prince George's County. And now we had the pleasure to partner with Jacob's Ladder, and they're doing great things in the community with this population. This population, what we're dealing with, is the best way to explain it is there's a lot of undressed trauma that they're going through, but they just need opportunities, and that's where Jacob's Ladder comes into play. They often up those opportunities, but that's just what I'm trying to do, and what we're getting out of the partnership with Jacob's Ladder for right now.
Okay. Hey Ken, if you could, can you describe the population of kids that we get? Describe the court order, the mandates. Is that possible?
Yeah. We can do that. A lot of the kids that I work with, they're kids that have committed. We like to say delinquent acts, but from the untrained eye, they're crimes. They're from carjacking all the way down to stealing a piece of candy. They're either in diversion programs, they're either placed on probation, they're either placed out of home placements. But what we need a lot of, guys, is parent involvement. Over the 30 years I work at, the parent involvement has been laxed. And we need that. The reason I say that is because who's guiding these kids? We send them out and the streets are guiding them. But to talk more about probation, they have court orders, such as their court conditions can be from going to school, doing therapy, writing essays, doing community service, substance abuse. These things they have to do so they won't be violated. If they get violated, it's almost similar to adult, whereas they are, like they say, step back, placed into placement, or given more conditions. But I would go to partnership with Jacob's Ladder to keep them in the community, and the biggest thing is expose them to things they never seen or they need in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And Ken, one thing, man, what is the most prevalent crimes that you're seeing, that you're dealing with, that you bring to Jacob's Ladder with the population that you will bring us?
It's robbery. It's robbery. I mean, you can loop that in with carjackings, but robberies is that basically I don't have a kid. So I want what you have, so I'm gonna take it because moms can't provide it, dad is not there, or dad can't provide it, grandma, auntie can't provide it. I'm just gonna get it, and then it becomes a habit. Then it becomes a habit. It becomes a habit. To whereas I gotta get it. I don't want nobody to tease me because I don't have the new shoes. I don't have the new Jordans. I don't have the new. I can't. I'm getting so out of touch. I can't even say these new names now. So therefore, I got to steal it. So the big thing is robbery. Yeah.
In your experience in dealing with some of these kids that are doing the carjacking, have they even expressed some of their reasoning or reasons for the carjack. I mean, because I'm 8 times out of 10 they're gonna get caught. Some before they even get away, some while they're even driving, because most of the time it either ends up in a wreck, then they're caught. What are some of the reasons? What are their logic? What are they thinking?
I'm glad you guys are sitting down because I'm getting ready to give you one of the basic reasons.
Wait a minute, hold on, let me pour it first. sit down here. Let me pour it. Wait, really? I think I'm gonna need this one.
Yeah, you're gonna need this one. You're gonna need it. You're gonna need it.
Go ahead, man. Give it to me straight with no chase.
You ready? They don't feel like walking.
Yeah.
Really?
They don't feel like walking. And then the kids are so easy to steal.
I thought you was asking me, are you saying they don't feel like walking?
They don't feel like walking. I mean, I'm being a little facetious, but that's one of the maybe the one that just started learning how to break into kids with the USB cords. You know, pop the ignition, put the USB cord in, start the car. And I don't even mind sharing. I'm gonna tell you how bold. I'm gonna tell you how bold the young men are. In my community, maybe a week or so ago, we saw a stolen car. We reported it. So that before the police could get here, the young man comes around the corner. He gets in his car, cranks the car up, let it warm. Mind you, myself and my neighbor are out there watching him. He's not in a hurry to go anywhere. He knows that we know the car is stolen. He warmed the car up, drank a cup of coffee. I'm being facetious, but anyway, and just pulls off like he's going to work. Yeah. So it's getting so unnerving to them where it doesn't matter. To the other day, the same spot, I saw another stolen car. I mean, now it must be a drop spot. But anyway, they're getting so comfortable. They call it free car. So what it is if they go around, they'll see a free car and they'll jump into it. I mean, to a point where I had one kid that I dealt with. They call him free car because he stole so many cars. But that's one of the reasons, and another reason is they want to be men, and they want to be accepted by their peers. So therefore, once they learn how to steal these cars, especially they got a nice one, and then also for the ladies, and they continue on doing it. They continue on doing it. That's kind of the meat of it, where it is senseless to us. But just looking at it from their point of view, it's not senseless. It's trying to be accepted. That's what that is.
I'm gonna say one of the things we actually talked about. One of the things we actually talked about in the training was the underlying thing is it gives them a sense of control. So like outside in every other area of their life, they don't have control over anything. So when they go out and they do these particular things, in that moment, I'm in control of the situation. I made this choice. I'm the one in this car. I'm in control of this car. And it's really figuring out how do we get them to, think a different way.
Hey, Hooks, and what Steve is talking about is the Roker training that DJS goes through. He's recently gone through it. Just to give you some context about what he just said, all right?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And to tell you the truth, so Hooks has been with us since Jacob Ladder started. Okay. Again, he's with the Department of Juvenile Services. Right. So every step of the way, I always consult with Hooks to say, what do the kids need? Right. What are they saying? He sees it every day, all day. Right. So I'm asking him, what do we need to do? What programs do we need to introduce? How do we need to present this stuff? So in essence, even though on paper, I'm the executive director, he's the executive director of Jacob Ladder Youth Foundation, all right? So I'm gonna give him a little bit of credit on that, right? But I'm still gonna hold it, Chester. I'm still gonna hold it. But he comes with good advice. Right. He's been with us since day one. Right. We used to go down to Cheltenham Youth Detention Center together. We used to go down to the DC Youth Detention Center together. Okay. And now they come to us because of Hooks. So we don't go to the detention centers anymore since COVID. We was going to DC during COVID. But now, state of Maryland, Prince George's County, the Evening Reporting Center with the Kenny Hooks takes place of that he's responsible for. Right. They come to us in our facility. So it's a great thing. It's a great relationship.
Yeah. So,
Anything else, Looks?
No, that's about it. Some of our future endeavors too is I don't know if you already talked about it because I missed a lot. With the STEM training, with the looking at schools, for the kids creating the schools. So I think that's a big thing because these kids they're not learning traditionally now. Reason like what I'm trying to say is the classrooms are too big. The ratio is too large for them. So we got to decrease that ratio for these kids to learn. When I say that teacher to student ratio, because they already been out of school for almost a year or 2 years. They're so far behind, and they're not gonna go to a regular school and learn. So that's one thing that we want a partnership with Jacob's Ladder and say, hey, let's create this school where they're gonna be learning these trades as well as getting that one-on-one that they need as far as education is concerned.
And to provide clarity, what Kenny's saying, by the time they come to Hooks, to DJS, they've been expelled. So they're not receiving any education. Okay? So they've been expelled from school. By the time they come to Hooks, they've been out of school for a minute, 6 months to a year, maybe a little bit longer. So when it comes to Jacob's Ladder, we are their school. We are the education. That's why we emphasize in the STEM. That's why we want to get our own school. So Ken, yeah, we talked about that before you jumped on about the school we're trying to develop. Just to let you know. So we talked about that. But that's what Kenny is saying as far as the education, because they lack the education. And again, when it comes down to the parents, there are different options these days because of COVID. And I don't want to just keep going on and on again. I'm trying to be respectful of time, but
we already over the time, man.
Okay,
but controlling this time. Right?
Both the parents, there is online education, so the parents can take advantage of the kids taking online education. But we just got to make sure the parents know this and pursue it and stick in there and do it. You know what I mean? Whatever you got to do, enroll your kid, whatever kind of little meetings you have to go to, you got to cross this finish line. You know, I mean, a lot of our families is in such a frustrated state. We can't cross the finish line. As soon as one thing go wrong, we done. It just breaks the whole system down. The whole household just collapse. We got to be able to cross this finish line and make sure the kid is getting educated. We have to. The kid has to receive an education. That's just it. So that's what Ken's talking about.
You ever thought about having like a career day where just the regular folks like us outside the organization could come and maybe speak on our lives and how we got to where we are and the work we had to put in? Yeah. Maybe give them a little sense of hope.
We do that. We do that. We do that on the record. We do that. Maybe
I need to know so I can announce that.
Once every other month. Now let's know it's not necessarily a career day, but we have chat sessions. Yeah. We have return citizens that come through that can really talk life to these kids, and they really listen to return citizens because they can speak this language that the kids are going through. Yeah, brothers have. Yeah, and Steven said earlier, and look, I've never gone to sleep hungry a day in my life. So I never even try to sit there and try to pretend like I didn't sleep. I've never gone to sleep hungry. I've gone to sleep, with a full belly and had a good night rest. And
in a nice bed
every day of my life. So I can't sit around and try to act like I've gone to sleep hungry. I never been in no trouble. All right. But when I see those kids, I always tell them I could have been them. All right. And Chester, and no doubt, maybe you know what? I should have been them. All right. I just never got caught. I should have been them. And again, sometimes we gotta humble ourselves. I should have been them. All right?
Can't forget what you've done in the past.
Absolutely.
You can't mark that and say,
absolutely,
well, that's different.
That's right. So shout out to Kenny Hooks. I mean, for what he does, for what he brings, the value. He couldn't be here tonight to take care of his wife. Thank you for jumping on, Ken. I mean, anything else you want to add, man, add it. I mean, folks that have been on this podcast this long, man, they used to go out. Hey, Ken, we almost on 2 hours. We keeping folks up.
Yeah. I'm just the man next to the man, Mr. Jordan. I'm just a man next to the man. Yeah. but the one thing I like to say before I always say this when because I've been doing this almost 30 years. When people come talk to these young fellas, these young ladies, I ask them to be held accountable, or hold themselves accountable. Don't just talk the talk. walk the walk, because these kids, they want to trust you, but they have been talked to and talked to and talked to. Then they gotta go back home. But you know, hey, come on home with me. Come bring me to your house. I mean, I'm not figuratively. You know, be there for me when I need you. So that you know, they want you the speaker to be held accountable as well.
Right. And one last thing, let me just add this, Ken. I'm gonna let you go, Ken, if you need to. And I'm gonna pose this to you so you can think about it. Then I'm gonna give some more dialogue. But where's the breakdown in the system, Ken? All right. I'm gonna ask you that. Think about it. I'm gonna give some dialogue. When I talk about the breakdown in the system, because it seems like Ken, the kids we get, the kids that come to Jacob's Ladder appear to be truly the most violent offenders in Prince George's County as far as juveniles. All right. The majority of them, Ken, have handgun crimes. They have gun crimes, whether it's carjackings, robberies, shootings, murders, whatever the case is. Right. And right now, there's a crisis going on, man, with these gun crimes and juveniles in the DC area, in particular Prince George's.
Back in the 80s.
All right. Okay. I mean, all-time record. This is worse than the crack era. To keep it from this thing right now is worse than the crack era. So, Ken, I'm asking you a question. I want you to tread lightly. Tread lightly, Ken. You gotta go to work tomorrow. All right.
Yeah. You're right.
Good, man. Where is? And the only reason I'm asking this question because Jacob Ladder, again, we like to stand in the gap. We like to try to help out where the help is truly needed, Ken. What can Jacob's Ladder do with any kind of breakdown that you've recognized? And you know, Ken, when I say this, I mean it. No matter the resources, no matter what we had to do, what's the breakdown? What do we need to concentrate on?
I don't want to say I don't know the breakdown. I just know what my experience has came to conclusion of, and we have to have this discussion. We really need to get this parents' involvement and parent engagement piece. Once we're able to get this parent engagement piece, then I think we can get some headway. Also, and we talked again, Joy. You know, we talked before, and some of the laws got to be changed.
Yeah.
You know, we got to change some of these laws. We got to make. Unfortunately, we got to make some of these parents be there for their kids legally. Unfortunately. But at the same time, man, I don't know what to break down, but what over the years I have seen that parent engagement piece is necessary. It's necessary, you know.
So, Kim, with that being said, of course, and just my last point, then I'm gonna let everything else just roll from there. It's my last point. Of course, we're trying to work and help with legislation, all right? When it comes down to parenting, when it comes down to any kind of enforcement and laws, legislation. You know, again, we need to make sure the parents have what they need, and then we need to make sure we have some enforcement. Because we need to start this thing once the kids start being truant. Once the kid, like the kids are like a chronic runaway. So that's when we need to really try to step in with the parenting piece, Ken. And then with the legislation that we are working with one of the local senators to take to the state delegation during session coming up in January, so we can try to really have some enforcement along with this. So we are part of that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Venita and Jay Ferg, I know we keep y'all on a little longer than y'all used to. If y'all got to go, just
No, this is great, man. I'm really taking this all in. I'm like really taking it all. I'm enjoying this conversation, man. This is powerful
since
stuff.
y'all on,
I have a question for Ken. I have a question. We talk about getting the parents or the parent involved. From your experience, when you're going into the houses for these young adults, what are you finding? Is it a one home parent? Is it a 2-home parent? Is the father missing? Is the mama not there? Is the 15-year-old with a 30-year-old mom and a 45-year-old grandmama? What are you finding when you say the dynamics of the family? What do you find when you find a kid in trouble when you take them home?
over the years, it's been all of that. It's been grandma. It's been single parent mother. It's been the 15-year-old, maybe the oldest. It's been auntie. It's been godmothers. It's been where families may have had 7 small kids and a teenager in the house. So it's been all those, and they are asking for help. Like Jordan was saying, a lot of times they need to be led to what the resources are, and that's that family that you really truly want to help.
Right.
So therefore, that's another thing that Jacob's Ladder will play a big part in too. Is we need to go to those houses, or we need to go to those parents. And say, here we go. We're going to educate on what you can find, what you can do with your kid.
Well, one of the biggest problems I see with this, man, is, when you got mothers raising young men, then you got most of the young men where the mothers become scared of the young man they raise.
Oh, yeah.
And then the other part of that, another piece of that is their child was always so good up until the time they got caught. Oh, but he's all, we hear all the excuses, never no accountability. And I mean, I think it's, what most of us are saying here, like Lenny, we need to start holding the parents more accountable. And if they can't be accountable to their children, then unfortunately, I mean, you got to find something or a program for them to be accountable to.
It's not only just accountability, but it's also providing some resources.
Well, yeah, you got to provide the resources. Yes.
Ray Farmer has a statement, and this is for Kenny Hooks. He said he can say this and stand by it. PG County, once they removed Judge Dawson from the bench, all hell broke loose.
Talk about that, kid.
You can't talk on it?
Y'all know I gotta go to work tomorrow. Come on now.
Nod your head twice if he's right.
I don't have to go to work tomorrow. That's a true statement.
No. But all seriousness, Judge Dawson did hold these kids accountable. And I can't say what the other judges are doing because I'm not directly with the court systems anymore. But this holding the kid accountable, guess what? The kid will step up. The kid will step up with some support. They will step up. They may not be able to get the 3.0 that Judge Dawson may have wanted them to get, but they will step it up. They will step it up. With like you said, with the appropriate resources.
And there are resources out there. Don't get this wrong. Like Captain said earlier, the parents can Google, find the resources. There are resources out here. So when you hear parents and folks say there's nothing out here for the kids, that's not true. All right? There's plenty of resources out here, but you have to have the staying power to make sure you find the resources and stick with it. It's a process. Again, man, once one thing go wrong, we fall apart, man. The whole household is down the center, down like crazy. You know what I mean? We can't do this. We can't do it.
That's true. That's real talk, though.
Yeah,
that's real talk. We definitely do need more consequences. I think a lot of the problem right now is there no consequences for a lot of the stuff these kids are doing. But that's why I say it's great what you guys are doing. Instead of the consequences, you guys are providing opportunities in a different vision.
Yeah.
You say, hey, and it all starts with, I think it was even one of the statements in here. Actually, one of you guys said too, trust.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You got it. And so that one-time meeting is just that. It's a one meeting. Kids not going to trust you for one meeting.
Right.
You have to continually engage.
Absolutely.
Engage even through the bad. You got to stay. You got to have that staying power.
No doubt.
To follow all the way through. So I definitely applaud you guys, man, for everything you're doing. I want to thank Chris for allowing this to happen because he didn't hesitate. Once I told him about the organization and what you guys did, and I didn't know about these two brothers, but at the same time, once I brought it up to him, he was like, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, no doubt. We appreciate this platform. We appreciate this. We appreciate the opportunity to get the word out with everything. That's just it. We need part 2.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna have to do a follow-up because I mean I think one is
maybe one on site.
Yeah.
Come on down.
I watched on your social media. There was drywall training.
Yeah.
There was plumbing. There was. You got to check out their social media pages. More specifically, I'm Instagram because it really shows a lot of the stuff. It's not just posters. It's not just statements. It's not memes.
No.
Actually hands-on with folks in the community. Yeah. Providing the resources to you guys. This is what we need more of.
It's incredible.
We need more of.
Those certified tradesmen coming in
If you got some folk that you interested in some media stuff, like I got a brother that does stuff for Fox News. He's in my church. He runs my media. They say, man, you got some, like right now I got this 12 and 9-year-old kid running my media at the church. And then the next thing I know, he took me down to Fox News, and I'm sitting up here watching Fox News one day, see all these misspelled words up there. He got them doing the teleprompter, right? I said, oh, that must be all right up there, but they learn how to run audio, visual, all this new stuff, technology that we had to resort to, after COVID, because I stream my services online now, and because it's the way it's just the world we're in right now. Post-COVID. Well, post-COVID forced us to do that, You don't have a whole lot of people coming to church anymore, so we still got to get that word out. And, and so now we are forced to train people in the media department because, none of the members trying to do it. But, he's willing to train. So, then also, I'm running one of the most stringent martial arts programs in my church. So,
It's been great, man.
I don't know if they can hear you.
I'm saying, I run one of the most stringent martial arts. They don't just learn the art; they learn the discipline that goes along with that. And there's some discipline that comes along with it. That's life skills.
Yeah,
just going into it because
the root word is disciple.
Going out there representing, something that I know. You're gonna represent it in a manner, the Bible said, "Be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath, slow to anger." So you're gonna learn all of that. But anything we can do to move the format, not to mention my PhD is in psychology, so certified, etc., and so forth. So if you need somebody to sit on when you put that next man into the mental health piece, I'll be glad to come over and sit with you and pick his brain or her brain to see what they can offer and bring to the good of the program.
This has been great.
Yeah.
This has been great. I came and got some whiskey. Got a cigar.
And this is the Smoking Jacket broadcast.
And great conversation.
Right. Yeah.
This has been a great night. I mean, I don't have anything else to say. Whatever else you want. Anything closing remarks from my guys.
Let's close it with this. So, I haven't seen you smoke, so I take it you don't smoke, right? All right. But you indulge in cigars, and what you like, man?
Well, I mean, normally, if I'm smoking a cigar, it's Romeo and Juliet. Okay. I had a Nicaragua cigar.
Okay.
Pay compliments to Brothers Chester.
All right.
So that's pretty good. All right. And the whiskey. Don't know where the whiskey even came from, but it was good.
That's
okay.
Go to Glenmorangie.
Okay, here we go. So the whiskey connoisseur. So we had that. This was great. I mean, I can't thank you enough, Chester. Everybody else for this time, this opportunity, this platform. Yeah, Ray Farmer. I mean, to come on, just again, man, just can't say enough.
Venita.
It's just enough about Ray, what he does. Anything my guys want to close, Ken Hooks want to close. How do you want
to Come on, Cap.
Drop more knowledge, Cap.
Let me close it out. Let me go in the Cap man.
Nah, so
come on and I'll give us some closing remarks.
Stuff on
Go ahead. Before you get started, he said that the first session we had the aviation program.
That's some mean shit.
Hey, look, one kid raised his hand. Hey, Cap,
can it really hit a forehead?
He said, one kid raised his hand. He said, "Are you getting us ready for war?" You remember that? You remember that?
You are already in. Already in war.
Life war. Prepare for war in the time of peace. Yeah. I would say I appreciate this opportunity again. You never know who's going to do it, and so I'll leave with a poem. It's very quick. It goes as see it through, and it goes as when you're up against the trouble, meet a struggle face to face. Let the chin say the shoulder, place your feet and take a brace. When the vein try to doubt it, do the best that you can do. You may fail, but you may conquer, see it through. Black may be the clouds about you, but your future may seem bright. But don't let your nerves assert you. Keep yourself in fighting turn. Like the worst is about to happen, despite all that you can do. Running from it, not saving, see it through. Even hope may seem futile, but the troubles you beset. Just remember you're facing this with other men that you may fail before fighting. Don't give up. Whatever you do, eyes front, head to the finish. See it through. See it through.
Knock the mic over.
Whatever you're going through in life, see it through. What God has for you will be for you. The battle and the true test of a man and woman is through adversity. So, fight through it, overcome it, and accomplish what you set out to see.
All right. I don't even know how to follow that up. So what I kind of leave us with is this. At the end of the day, accountability is an internal compass that guides you towards a better you. That's it. You know what I mean? We talked about it. At the end of the day, it's accountability to yourself. As a parent, accountability being a parent. And that's what will help us guide us to do that thing. Us in the program, being accountable and showing up the same way every day. Because again, you're building trust with people who've only experienced broken trust. So if we have an off day, we lose everything that we gained before that. So really, it's just all about accountability.
Yeah, I'm here. I just appreciate the opportunity to hear to talk about it. I got a lot more to talk about, but I just appreciate all the platform and look forward to being there and sharing a little bit more with you guys.
All right, forward to that too.
Hey, for me, it's just again.
We get to you with last, brother. It's right before me, brother Tester. What you got, man? Well, first of all, let me say thank you for bringing these brothers to us, man. This show couldn't have happened without you. Appreciate the tenacity and getting it done. He was a little excited last week. He's like, "Oh, we ready to go last week."
Mature.
It's all right. It's all right.
I'm here with my laptop.
You called me up 2 o'clock. Hey, what time you coming over, man? You coming over there? What you talking about?
Next week.
Yeah. So what else you got?
Man, I don't have anything. I just want to say shout out to my man Tony Grillo because Tony is the one who introduced me to Jarriel. Although we went to the same school, I was 2 years ahead. But Grillo, great look, bro. This is what we need, and this is hopefully a beginning of a long partnership in the road. Because I'm gonna continue to shout out Jacob Ladder like I always do. I'm gonna continue to shout it out because I believe in it 1,000%. So applaud you guys for what you do because you're doing a lot of the work that a lot of us have not been able to do, but you're motivating us. You're not motivating just the kids. Right. You're motivating the adults to say, you know, I need to get back into the community and get my hands dirty. Yeah. The memes ain't working. There you go. Yeah.
Jay Ferg.
Ferg.
Hey man, guys, keep doing your great work, man. And look, I just started my nonprofit down here in South Florida as well. So whatever we can do to partner in the future, I'm definitely open to it. I think we need to definitely do more work like this in the community on a national level. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys grow in the future, whatever endeavors you guys expand to. And look, you always have a resource down here in South Florida, so just know that for sure. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Now we got Miss Venita
Applebaum.
Oh my goodness. I hear the passion in everyone's voice when you guys talk about Jacob's Ladder and the cause. I want to say much continued success to you guys. It truly takes a village to rear a child. And I heard someone say you have to meet them where they are. When you meet a troubled child where they are and you roll up your sleeves and you get in the fight to get them along their way, it's to be commended. It really is to be commended. And to say I am my brother's keeper, or it takes a village to raise a child, you guys give that a new breath of fresh air, that meaning. And I commend you guys. Much continued success to you guys.
Thank you.
Sunday to Wednesday, Sunday.
You know, I said enough. Again, I just want to say, again, wholeheartedly, full of gratitude and thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Hey, to my man Chester. Okay, Tony Grillo.
Yeah.
As we said, he's the one who really connected the dots, put it together. All right. So I mean, I just say thanks. I mean, I'm just thankful for everything, and that's just it. I'm humbly thankful, and just continue to pray for us. I mean, that's one thing that we just continue to need. Continued prayers just for our organization, for our staff, for our volunteers, and just for our future to continue to grow. Okay. Got me a beanie. Can y'all see it? I'm gonna get this to Chester. Hey, look. Master P said you should always bring some product. Right? I'm a little late on my sweatshirts. I got you a sweatshirt.
Well, I'll tell you what.
This is a beanie.
You wear beanies?
Yeah. He wear cowboy hats.
I'll tell you the sweatshirt.
You wear cowboy hats.
I would be.
Yeah, that's I'm to this brother. Yes, sir.
No.
Oh,
so Master P said you gotta bring. You always bring this product.
I'm gonna make sure I get one for y'all.
Yeah. So we got the beanies. I haven't even given it to my staff yet. This is fresh off the press.
You're rocking right.
He didn't have that DC shot.
Yeah.
Hey, look. So I was gonna I'm just thankful. We're thankful. All right, we're gonna continue to do this work. We're on our assignment right now. We're on our post. This is our post. So we're doing what we're supposed to do. That's just it. I mean, that's just it. We're gonna keep doing this work. Continue to pray for us. Continue to support us. Whatever we can do for the community, we're gonna do it. We say yes. I think that's why our organization continues to say you have. That's why our organization continues to be blessed, because we say yes. We say yes. All right. That's just it. We want our folks to win. A little bit matters. We want our folks to win, no matter what it takes.
Power to you.
Power to the people.
So man,
I'm not kidding. Look, that shit, baby.
Power to the people.
First, let me give a shout out to Drunk Chicken Cigars. Impromptu appearance. All right. If you haven't tried that hyper hand, go get one. All right.
Thank you.
All right, no problem. Jay Ferg and Chester and Venita. I appreciate you for indulging your time with us today. And you could have been anywhere else. Venita, I know you probably gonna get in that kitchen, probably even though it's 10 o'clock.
Probably
with something up.
I'm waiting to watch the post.
Around about 11:30, looking at the post. You know, and
looking forward to it.
But let me say, let me first thank these people for being on there. Let me thank them for just taking the time, the work that they do. There's not a whole lot more that I can say, except for the, when we see broadcasts like this that come, and we know it's coming, make it your business to be empowered with information that will help the community. We and I always say this, to be true brothers and sisters of the league don't mean just smoking together. This brings us together to help us relax, be in the mode that we're in, and we talk about it being a networking experience, and so forth and so on. Well, you know what? It's a Smoking Jacket broadcast. Get your cigar, get your libation, whatever you do, sit back, enjoy the show, get some meaningful information that'll help us along the way, because the show is not just about smoking cigars. We're going to make it, and educate you still on cigars and what's going on in the cigar community. But we also want to go further than that and a step further than that and educate us on what we need to do to better ourselves in our own communities and how to police our communities and do it ourselves and not wait for nobody to do it for us. So I'm going to go old school Jay Ferg. Only Jay Ferg would know this because this is how we started the show back in the day. And that was our theme song. Bring it back. Right there. Bring it back. Whatever you do in life, ain't no stopping us now. Right. And so I'm going to tell you, I applaud these brothers. Much prayer to you. May God order your steps. May He continue to keep a hedge around you and the work that you do. What you're doing and how you do it. Man, let me tell you, this right here to me was one hell of a show. I appreciate that.
Peace and blessings.
We're getting touch.
I salute y'all.
Yeah. Somebody give me one of them cups right here. Yeah, man, to give me one of those cups.
You're a crystal from France.
Hey.
Made in the Vatican.
I love this was my class song, by the way. Class of 1979 with Philadelphia High School. What we end up, we don't know. Don't let nothing hold you back. And these brothers are polished enough to act for us. It's a model for all of us to follow. All right? And I appreciate each and every one of you for coming on and being with us. Thank God for you. Do me a favor, whatever you do when you come on, share the broadcast, share the podcast, make it informative so that other people can be empowered and be informed by the work that we're doing. All right? Hey, God bless each and every one of y'all. I thank y'all once again. And we're going to end it right here. Peace and blessings to you all.
Thank you.